Good evening. The Scottish Conservative leader Ruth Davidson has used her speech to the Tory conference to call for the party to unite and fight. She's told Tory activists in Manchester that the country is still far too London-centric. From the conference, here's our political correspondent, David Porter.
Putting her best foot forward and stepping into the limelight again. Ruth Davidson is now a well-established conference favourite. Cabinet ministers want to be seen listening to what she's got to say. Her message, devolution works and there should be more of it, but also divided parties do not prosper.
It's time for us, for all of us, to unite and fight. Unite and fight for the union of our nation, for the security that people want, for the prosperity that families need, for the future our young people deserve.
Away from the conference hall, standing room only for a meeting of Scottish Conservatives. They now believe they're punching above their weight.
Those 12 gains ensured that the Conservatives are still in government in the United Kingdom, ensuring that Jeremy Corbyn is not Prime Minister right now.
And from that new generation of MPs' strong views, more must be done to woo young voters, and the message must be clear.
No one's going to shy away from the fact that we couldn't get our messages across in the national campaign.
Amid the inevitably tight security, Brexit and the Prime Minister's leadership, key topics for many.
I think some of the interventions the Foreign Secretary has made have not been helpful. It's understandable that he's got a vision for what he wants, but in my mind there's ways and means of doing that, and I don't think his behaviour has been the most productive. Tonight
the Prime Minister is preparing to meet Scottish activists. She knows she's still in a job because of the progress they made in June's election. David Porter, reporting Scotland at the Tory Party conference in Manchester.
The First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, has said she is increasingly concerned about images from Catalonia as Spanish police try to halt an independence referendum. The Scottish Conservative leader Ruth Davidson called for the authorities to exercise restraint. Barcelona's mayor says at least 460 people have been injured as police seized ballot papers and confronted protesters. Our political correspondent Niall O'Gallagher joins us live now from Barcelona.
The attempts by the Spanish security forces to prevent today's referendum taking place have in large part failed. People have been voting at this polling station in large numbers here in central Barcelona throughout the day. But don't let the carnival atmosphere fool you. They've done so in an atmosphere of tension and indeed of fear because of the actions of Spanish police officers elsewhere in the city and indeed across the region. Force has been used, rubber bullets have been fired, voters have been forcibly ejected from polling stations, and there have been standoffs between local and national police forces. Wherever we've gone today, people have asked us to stay because they fear that whenever the cameras leave, the police will come. And while votes have been cast, they may never be counted. Indeed, many around me tonight who have voted are concerned that when the polls close in around an hour, the ballot boxes themselves will be confiscated. Now, the Spanish government insists that it has acted proportionately in defence of Spanish democracy against an illegal and unconstitutional referendum here in Barcelona. But the actions of the security forces risk alienating Catalan voters whether or not a yes vote is recorded in the morning.
Thank you, Niall. Thousands of people have taken part in the final day of the Great Scottish Run around Glasgow. The founder of Celtic Football Club, Brother Wilfred, is to be the subject of a research project to raise awareness of his work to tackle poverty.